I was looking very, very hard at what we should do. I didn't want it to just be a celebration of 50 years of the past. I want it to be a celebration of the past, or rather of the mythology, of the legend of the Doctor, and all that entails. But that can seem like a headstone. That can seem like a retrospective. That's the worst thing you can do. That feels like a state funeral. I don't want it to be a state funeral. I don't want to be presiding over that. I want it to be the first step on the next journey. I want it to be the 50th anniversary that guarantees the 100th. When I thought of this, I thought, what if it was the most important thing that ever happened to the Doctor? We very rarely do that in Doctor Who. Doctor Who is usually about the people he meets, or the companion travels with him. And he has a huge impact on them. And my image of him as a man, I think this is probably true of him as a man, is he has a huge adventure, changes everybody's life, saves a whole solar system, defeats a giant space badger, walks back to the TARDIS, and 10 minutes later, if you asked him about it, he'd be going, oh yeah, I remember that vaguely, it was quite fun. What did I do? Never mind, let's go somewhere else. He's not a man who necessarily is changed a lot of the time. He's a soul of Teflon. So now and then you try and go for a story that absolutely skewers him, changes him and defines him, and possibly even redefines him. With John Hurt, we have serious acting royalty. We have acting royalty in this show. And that was the intent with John's character. We wanted to say, you know, this is 50 years of Doctor Who. Let's have a visit from our equivalent of royalty, actor royalty. John Hurt, one of the most distinguished film stars of British origin, one of the most distinguished actors this country's produced, has become part of Doctor Who mythology. That's huge and important and a big deal. My first impulse on 3D was, if we're going to do 3D, it's got to be part of the plot. We can't just do 3D like anyone else does it. Oh, it's another dimension. We actually have to make 3D part of the story. If at all possible, we have to try and make 3D even a bit scary. So yes, 3D's in it. 3D is part of it. That's a slightly difficult thing to do, but I wouldn't say it's in every scene, but there's an element of this show that exploits the fact of 3D. Yes. Two Doctors on set, especially at this particular moment, when both Matt and David look exactly right. You know, they're not coming back to their role 15 years later. David hasn't changed a bit since he played the Doctor. And he's wearing exactly the right costume. Matt obviously hasn't changed a bit since he played the Doctor, since he still is playing the Doctor. It's eye-twisting at times. These two, you don't quite realise how much these two men have become hardwired into your brain as the Doctor. And there's two of them. They're both there at the same time. You think, wow, look, there's two of them. There was obviously, on everybody's part, including mine, including David's, including Matt's, a slight fear. You know, the power share, you know. There's another one. The other king is returning. What do we do? And the returning king's thinking, I'm coming back to a show I haven't been in for several years. What's this going to be like? I can report it's absolutely true. I'm sure it will be very obvious by the time we get on air. They sort of love each other. Matt and David get on so well, and their interaction on screen is a sublime double act. They are so funny and acute and clever and witty together. Matt said to me, it's a bit like Laurel and Laurel. It's like Hardy didn't turn up. It's just hugely funny from that point of view. They are absolutely great together. Sometimes very, very different. Other times, the moments they choose together, they're exactly the same. Being the actors, they're very keen to say, we're the same person. And now and then you'll just see them do exactly the same thing. And then they'll diverge again. And then they'll be exactly the same again. And I sort of think we should keep them on, both of them on permanently. I may lock the studios at the end of this. I want it to be a show that also, for all its allegiance to the past and all that, that actually a new viewer would say, you know, it's time I started watching Doctor Who. That's what I'd like.